All right. How you guys doing tonight? What's up, Ed? Now this is going to be a little bit of a slightly different type of live stream for tonight. So just hang in there for a bit while we wait for a couple of more people to join in, and I'll, get started on what my big discussion is for you guys watching tonight. All right, looks like we got somebody else joining us, which is good. Just want to wait to see how many more people join us tonight before we get started. Very nice. All right, so I'm not going to waste any more time, holding up you guys, letting you all build up suspense here. I'm just going to go ahead and get on with the situation anyway. So I know there's been a lot of comments in the past couple of months where I mentioned, if you guys want for me to run something that you guys might like, please let me know in the comments section. And I've been getting a lot of feedback saying, well, what kind of locomotives do you have in your collection? And it appears that nobody who really tunes into my channel seems to remember, or maybe they just kind of forgot after a while about what kind of engines that I have. So that's where the idea of this video comes in. So for today's live stream, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the locomotives and rolling stock that I have here in my collection. And then later on in the video, we'll get on to the running session. So if you guys ever want to see a specific engine run on any of my live streams, this video will be a really good source to look through and just explore. So without further ado, let me go ahead and turn my camera around. We'll start over here first. All right, there we go. So first off, we'll look at everything on the top shelf here, and we'll work our way all the way to the bottom. So just by looking up here, there is a lot of boxes piled up on top of each other, as you can see. These are mostly just for my accessories and such. But the first box that I want to show you is all the way up here. Let me see if I can get this stuff down without creating any ruckus. Actually, better yet, let me put the camera on the tripod. Here we are. So right down here, we have a couple of items, including my 2400 series passenger car set. Here we have the dome car. We also have the Newark passenger car, as well as the Summit observation car. Again, this is all post-war that we're looking at here so far. And the first item that I want to share with you all is actually the first post-war locomotive that my parents got me for Christmas back in 2005. This is an original 2055 Junior Hudson steam locomotive. And on top we have like some nicely not molded in detail, but we have some nice detail nonetheless, including the bell and the whistle. And so far it's in somewhat fair shape. Here we also have the tender that goes with it. And then here we have a original 6454 Pennsylvania boxcar from like the late 40s. Again, this is also Lionel. Now this one I don't really like to pull out a whole lot because this thing is almost in pure mint condition that I don't want to mess up the decals on the side or the paint. What's going on, Slack Hack? How you doing tonight? So don't worry if you guys are not seeing the layout just yet. I'm just doing a little bit of show and tell for my entire collection here. So next up I have an original Lionel Pennsylvania caboose, numbered 64173. Again, in very nice shape. I also did have to, well, I technically have to work on the wiring on the bottom of the caboose itself because the old wire kind of fell out, so I do need to do some modifications to this one. And then next up here is a 404, let me start that again. This is a original 404 Lionel Baltimore and Ohio Bud car from 1956. Again, very nice shape. Don't want to mess up the decals or the graphics. And next up I have my Lionel 2328 Burlington GP7 in somewhat fair shape. Again, this one's going to be needing a little bit of a restoration too, so make sure to stay tuned for that on my second channel, which is Railchief's Back Shop. So all this stuff is going to go back in the box, so that way we can move on to our next item on the second shelf for the next couple of items that I want to share with you all. I mean, I'm doing pretty okay. I mean, there was a lot of, let's just say there was a lot of things that needed to that I needed to get done today. So there was like a little this, a little that here and there. But you guys know. Anyway, on the right down here, I have my MPC Lionel GS4 Southern Pacific 4449 here. Again, this one's also going to need a little bit of a restoration. But just by looking at the bottom of the shelf here, as you can see, I do have a reproduction skirt for it. Because it's a little hard to tell in the video, but there are some parts of the paint that are very chipped off. And the decal itself is kind of seen better days, especially when it comes to the number board. And I also did buy some replacement number boards on Trains.com. Now, both the skirt and the stickers here are from the 90s reproduction of the GS4. Here we have the tender back there. I got to put a new Sound of Steam electronic board inside of it. And then back here, I have my uncatalogued Baltimore and Ohio JCPenney special, also known as the B&O Abraham Lincoln. Let's move on to this side here. And again, up here, just more and more accessory boxes. I also do have the box for my command control base. And then over here is just a bunch of MTH rolling stock, including some box cars, some covered hoppers, and a couple of other unique scale-like items. And if we move down here, I got some more MTH Rail King rolling stock. I also have the Lionel GP38 with the BNSF paint scheme down here. And then right over here, I have the, the B unit for the Texas Special in this box. And then this box over here is a Metka item, which is a little bank car in the B&O paint scheme. This box over here is my set of Erie Lackawanna F3s, which were made around 2006 by Lionel. Again, these are very nice looking engines. I'm really glad that I picked these up when I went to Greenberg a couple of years ago. There we go. Let's move this out of the way. Then over here, pretty sure you guys might recognize this little beauty by now, but this is the MTH Protosounds 3 Milwaukee Road F7 Hudson locomotive from MTH. Again, this is a reissue, but this one is upgraded with Protosounds 3. It also does not have the cable coming out of the back of the tender here. Here's a nice better view with the tender. Again, very gorgeous. Love that paint scheme. Then moving along down here, we have the box for the GS4 in somewhat decent shape. It's seen better days here and there. Down here, I believe this one's also for the B&O, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, this is for the B&O Berkshire. And here are some of the features that you get with the engine. And down here is the item number, which is 6-28633. Now, some of these items I'm not going to get into full detail on because I've shown them multiple times here on this channel. Down here we have the royal blue box for the 773 Hudson from the Century Club. This box up here is the Norfolk Southern SD9 locomotive. And this one has Proto Sounds 2, if my memory serves me correct. This particular box over here is for my Lionel Burlington set, which was made around 2004 and 2005 by Lionel. If we move the stuff out of the way, we got even more boxes. This one up here is for the Lionel MPC Pennsylvania dummy unit. Yep, this is the non-powered version. Now, the actual powered unit of the Jeep is numbered 8357, but the dummy unit, it's numbered 8358, which is very cool. Now, this also needs a little bit of a rewiring because the light currently does not work inside. And back here, we also have the B unit for the Pennsylvania F3 units, which were made by MPC Fun Dimensions from Lionel. Move out some of this other stuff out of the way. This box right here is for my Lionel Santa Fe GP38. Again, not the BNSF version that I just showed you guys. But this is for the classic war bonnet paint scheme variation. Hi, Ozzy. Good boy. Ozzy had a really big, busy day today, so I don't want to disturb him while he's sleeping. Hi, buddy. You're a good boy. Thank you. Who's a licker? Right, us? Gives nice little licks. But yeah, I really do hope that this item is worth a whole lot in the future. I'm not really too sure if I want to go that far just yet, but it's in so far fair shape. Again, no scratches, no bumps, no nicks, no cracks or anything. Actually, let me just take the cover off the display case here so you guys can get a better view of the B&O. Alright. So here we have the locomotive, and it's more or less a basic starter set version of Berkshire. Again, this is the same mold that they use for the Lionel Polar Express engines. And the tender is also pretty much the same thing on what you mostly get with the starter set type engines. Here on the bottom, we have the little volume control, and then we have the switch, which will turn on and off the rail sounds. Very nice. So moving down here, once again, we got some more items. This one over here is my Lionel. Oops, let me just move this real quick. I don't want anything falling. There we go. This item right here is my Lionel CSX 840-C diesel locomotive, which was introduced around 1989. And so here we have some of the features on the side. Now, with this locomotive, the sound system, or the horn, I should say, was broken to begin with. So it took me a while, but thankfully I did get the sounds replaced with a Williams True Blast sound effect. And for me, I'm not really the biggest fan of Williams items, especially the sound systems, but I think the True Blast sound effect works really well with this locomotive. I'll just put you guys back on the tripod real quick. Let me just move some of the stuff out of the way here before we continue on. Now this box right here is for my EMD GP38-2 diesel locomotive with the BNSF paint scheme. And this comes with the original QSI sound effect from MTH. And the box itself is almost in pristine condition, if I do say so myself. Now moving all the way back here, I do have the box for the Hiawatha down here. This box right here is the Lion Master Union Pacific SD90 Mac. And then right up here is the conventional classics box for the NW2 switcher, which you will be seeing again much later in the video, as well as the EMD GP38 with the BNSF paint scheme. This box right here is for the Santa Fe trolley. And I also do have the box, well, not an original box, but this box right here is for the 622 NW2 switcher from 1949 by Lionel. Let me just check this one is back here. All right. And here we have the GP7 again. Now this is the powered unit, which goes with the matching dummy. This box over here is for my, believe it's the chassis system SW1 switcher, which features Proto Sounds 2. And this one down here is another BNSF locomotive. I believe this is the -9 from MTH. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to the other side in just a moment, but just bear with me for a moment because I don't want to be tripping over all these boxes here that I just took out. Forgot to put the Berkshire back in the display case here. That's actually pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. All right, so next up here, we have the box for the 771 Jersey Central Camelback right up here. Right next to it is the Post-War Celebration Series Jersey Central 2341 from 2008. And then down here, we got some more MTH boxes, including the box for the George, whoops. Guess I can't tilt it or else my camera's going to get all flipped over. Anyway, this is the box for the George W. Bush 4141. We'll be taking a look at that much later as well. In this box here, I have my ST45 Conrail locomotive with the early with the early QSI sound effects again. Down here, I have another SW1 diesel switcher. This one is for the Norfolk Southern rail line. And here are some of the features on the bottom. Again, if you want to pause and give this a read, you can do that because I don't really have any access to flip my video camera over. So you guys are just going to have to read it sideways for now. And then this SW1 switcher is painted for the CSX rail line. And this one comes with the Proto Sounds 2 sound system. Right on the bottom of the Post-War Celebration Series Jersey Central, I also have the MTH Rail King Proto Sounds 3 4884 Union Pacific Big Boy here in this box. And this box here is for another Bud car. This one's number 2550. Now this is the non-operating version. And just like the 404, this one is also in really nice shape. Just really love how the light is reflecting off the paint here. Excuse me, Ozzy. Good boy. And back here, I have the box for my K-Line Tuscan Red Pennsylvania Torpedo. And I'm going to have to replace the sound system inside this engine because it's very staticky, and I want to see if I can find something that's not only sounds more realistic, but kind of fits the engine a little bit better. This box up here is for the Lionel Baltimore and Ohio GP9 from 1999, I believe. And got some MTH instructions. Let me put that to the side. Good boy. I mean, how can you not love this face here? Who's that good boy? Right, Ozzy? Who's my little watcher? He likes to watch everything I do. He's my baby boy. Good boy. All right, so here are the features of the B&O GP9. Comes with electrocouplers, horn, magnet traction, Palmar motor, newer electronics from the time it was released. Here is the item number on the side of the box. Just fix the flap on this real quick. There we go. So here are two of the same boxes. Again, I'm not going to pull this one out because you're basically going to see the same box as this one in the back. But these two boxes were for my Union Pacific Alco sets from 1994. Again, these are both the same engines, so not going to go into too much detail on those. This box right here is for the Texas Special. Oh, nope, this is for another Bud car. I believe this might be 400. Yep, this one's 400. Again, just like with the other two, this is also an original Bud car. This box over here is for the Texas Special. This one back here is for another Bud car. Actually, let me put the box back real quick. Just turn my camera around real fast. Now with the 400 here, you also do get the original instructions, which I think is very nice. It's got a little bit of a was it like coffee stain or something on it, but I don't really give a hoot about that. As long as I have something and it looks nice, then, you know, I'm not complaining. Oh yeah, almost forgot. This box that you see all the way in the back here, this is for my Conventional Classics reproduction of the Erie Lackawanna as well. And actually, while we're back here, let me go ahead and take some of the stuff out because I do have another train set here that I want to share with you all. Here's the Texas Special on there. Again, all original. Here's the Bud car. This one's numbered 2559. Oops. So this one is another non-operating version. There we go. So me just having 4 of these Bud cars gives me a completed train set to run whenever I want to. Or if I just want to have just, you know, one of the 2 Bud cars running, then I'd be okay with that. This box back here is for the Century Club GG1 number 2332. Again, I'm going to get back to that a little bit later. And it is currently not in the box. That's why I've been able to lift it out of here so quickly and so easily. So we'll get back to that pretty soon. Here's the Lackawanna box. Again, numbers 2321. There we go. Runs just as nice as the original did. And let me just put you guys back on the tripod real quick so I can get this next box out of here. Now, in this NPC Lionel box is a train set that I put together using a couple of different pieces of rolling stock that I've found and collected over the years at different train shows. And it looks like Ozzy wants to help me out over here. I'm taking the box. Okay. Now, in this packaging here, I have the original corral for the Lionel cattle car. And these are just a bunch of extra cows that not that I've collected them. They came with the corral originally, but when I bought the cattle car by itself, it only came with, actually it didn't come with any cattle. It just came with the car by itself. So the cattle I had to buy separately. And I think in total, I probably believe that I have like 12, 14, maybe even 15 cows to go with this corral. So this thing really does keep me busy. Again, I don't really have any space for it on the layout, but I am fortunate enough to have both the car and the corral together. So hopefully at some point down the road, if I try to add on to the layout or build a new one down the road, I'll make sure to find a nice space to put the cattle car and corral on the layout. Here in this packaging, I have an original Lionel Evans auto loader, numbered 6414. Again, very nice. Now, some of the cars do need to be cleaned off a little, but there was one car in particular where the front of it kind of broke off, so I had to buy a replacement part to fix that little situation. I believe this is actually the one that had the broken piece off of it. So 95% of this whole thing is original, except for that replacement part that I got for that automobile. Now in this bag here, I do have the original Lionel double dump car. This one's also going to need a little bit of repairing because on the side here, the little gear has been kind of scraped off. So I want to see if I can either get a replacement bin or try to find a way to fix the side of the bin completely so that way it doesn't open up all the way. Now this box here is for the tender, which goes with the 736 Berkshire that I added to the set here, and we'll take a better look at that in just a moment. Let me just go ahead and take the tender out real quick. And these are actually one of my favorite post-war tenders of all time. I don't really care if it has like New York Central Lionel lines or Pennsylvania on it. I just think this is a really sharp tender. And here in this box, we have the 736. Let me just take it out of the box for a moment so that way you guys get a better look at it. Just like with the tender and the other cars that I showed you, this one's 100% original as well. See, we got the swinging bell on the top. It's got the mechanical smoke unit, the whistle, the E unit. Yep, the E unit. And an original Pomar motor, which also does come with magnet traction. And this is probably one of my best smoking Lionel locomotives that I've ever owned. Couldn't be happier to have this. This box here is for the orange flat car, which comes with the trucks. Now, I did have the flat car for a very long time, but I did not have the trucks to go with them. So over the past couple of years, I've been kind of scouring, junk boxes and such to find some trucks that would go with this flat car. This box here is for the, I believe it's it's for the state of Maine. Again, this is all original. Now, the one thing I might need to replace on this car is the plunger, because it keeps on wobbling here and there whenever I try to fiddle with it. So that's going to need a little bit of a restoration as well. And finally, what better way to end a nice looking train set than to show the caboose for last. And this is an original Lionel 6517 for safety, radio for safety equipped bay window caboose. And this here is one of my favorite style of cabooses from the post-war era. I mean, I could look at this thing all day. I mean, just look how sharp the lettering and the paint looks. And it took me a while to figure out why the middle section was blocked off, and that's because they didn't want to show the light bulb sticking out of the window there. Ugh. Yeah, they are really nice to have. I mean, I've always wanted one for a very long time, even though I do like the horse corral a little bit better. I still think that the cattle car works 10 times more smoother. I know I sound like a little bit of a nut because a lot of people say that the horse corral works a lot better than the cattle car, but it usually just depends on how you have it hooked up. And for me, when I first started using it, the car was starting to move back and forth whenever the ramp would start to vibrate. But if you put something in front of the wheel, like a wheel stopper of some sort, then you shouldn't really be having any problems with it at all. Hey man, happy Tuesday to you too. Oh, oh my. What's going on, Dr. Death? Good to have you on tonight. Thank you. All right, guys, there's still plenty more to show off in tonight's episode, so let's go ahead and keep the wheels rolling here, so that way we can go ahead and show you more of the collection, but also get started with the running session pretty soon. Just put some of the stuff back first before we do that. class. Hang on, Boogie. I'm going to give you back to bed in just a second. Boy, boo-boo. Yeah, you're actually not the only one that thinks that, because I almost forgot that today was Tuesday as well. And it just goes to show you that time can be very funny no matter where you go or no matter where you live. Right down here, this has nothing to do with the collection, but I do like to keep Ozzy's dog toys down here. See, he's got a couple of rings. He's got a little red bone, no pun intended, when it comes to the iconic song from Guardians of the Galaxy. Also do have a little Pepsi can, or in this case, we have Poopsie. And down here, I have my very first train set that my parents got for me for my birthday many years ago. It's a QSI starter set featuring the 611 Norfolk and Western J. Now here's one of the passenger cars that goes with the set. This is the whatchamacallit, the dome car. This box over here is another horse corral that I'm trying to sell. Again, I'm not really having that much luck when it comes to it. But if anybody is interested in this particular item, make sure to let me know in the comments section. All right, now that that side is taken care of, let's go ahead and move on to the other side. And while we're at it, I want to show you guys a little project that I've been putting together over the past couple of months. So for those of you who remember the video that I made on my York haul, I picked up a old junk shell from Neely's Trains, and it was bare naked to the bone with no paint, no graphics, no decals on it. So over the past over the past 3 or 4 months, I've been kind of fiddling around with it, trying to figure out what to repaint it and what road name I should give it. And I always been fond of the Virginian and Ohio Railroad, especially when it came to the Pentrex DVD, which featured Alan and Brad McClellan's HO version of the V&O. And I always thought to myself, you know, the V&O Railway is very popular when it comes to the HO modelers, but it isn't very often that you see a V&O locomotive for the O gauge line. So that was the railroad that I went with here. Now the shell itself is spray painted with regular navy blue spray paint. The graphics and decals are from Woodland Scenics. Here we have the side of the engine. I added the number 43 to the side, even though I did order the number board separately. We have the Virginian and Ohio. Here we go. We do have the Virginian and Ohio road name on the side. I also added an F to the front because I've seen some of the scale F3 units, whether it's from MTH or Lionel, they would usually have a F on the front of the locomotive. Here's the front of the cab here with the V&O logo on the front. That was also custom made by myself. Now the number board is 2243, but I'm not really worried about that at all. I just wanted to cover up the openings of the front of the nose part of the engine. And the only other thing that I have to do is to order the little nose cap for the headlight. But this engine is going to act as a dummy unit for the meantime. Again, this is only temporary, but I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you guys the progress that I've been making on this model. Now here's my Lionel post-war collection. Now I don't want to get into too much information of what I got here, so instead I'm just going to move the camera around and show you guys what I have. Got a couple of box cars, got some hoppers and some tankers, and a couple of the old school New York Central gondolas. Here we have the 2243 Santa Fe for 027. Right next to it is the B unit. We got some 64 box cars, including my B&O box car from 1954. Here we have a Great Northern variation. We got Southern Pacific. We have a Lehigh Valley hopper up here. This box is for my dad's 2035 steam locomotive, and I'm shocked to see that Lionel is re-releasing it for the first time in the modern era for the 2024 catalog. This one over here is for the 2338 Milwaukee Road GP7. We also do have the box for the dummy unit, which goes to the New York Central 2344 locomotive. Again, this is from the post-war conventional classics line, so this is a repro. And please ignore the little sticky pad on the side of the box here. But this one is for the Norfolk Southern ST90 Mac locomotive. Again, this is just like the Union Pacific ST90, which I showed you guys earlier. Only this one is just plain old Lionel with TMCC and the Odyssey feature. Up here, I got a 2037 steam locomotive. Here's the box for the Santa Fe. Got a stock car up here from the New York Central. Got a little SP caboose in this box. This box over here is for a tender. I'm not really too sure what tender it's for. These two boxes up here are for the motorized units, such as the 52 fire car. Again, this is a box that I just found lying around on the side, so I'm using that for the fire car itself. This box over here is for the 50 gang car. This gigantic box right on the bottom here is for the Commodore Vanderbilt. Got two other boxes here. This one's for another SP caboose. This one back here is for the dump car. Let's go ahead and move on over to the other side. You got some more rolling stock back here. Not a whole lot of engines on this side. This little item right up here is for my Santa Fe track speeder. Actually, let me bring this down so that way you guys get a better look at it. So I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen this before, but let me just go ahead and show you again anyway. This one does come with 2 remote control operating couplers and TMCC, and it has LED lights installed in it. Moving along down here, we got some more Lionel and MTH items. This side here is mostly just like Lionel, just like with the first top shelf that I showed you. This box, this gigantic box back here is for a set of MTH CSX items. I haven't really ran these in quite some time, so I'm really thinking about bringing these back up again at some point. Got a look back there for the Santa Fe refrigerator car. This is the semi-scale version. I also do have a much bigger scale model. You have a Lionel Coca-Cola box car. These boxes over here are for the Union Pacific Alco set. These are the passenger cars, of course. And everything else is mostly just like a mixture of Standard O and post-war Celebration series and a lot of the modern era Lionel equipment. These few boxes back here, these 3 are for the Rail King Santa Fe passenger car set, which my dad found at a garage sale many years back. This box down here is for the New York Central semi-scale rugged rails passenger car line. Here we have the tender for the Commodore Vanderbilt, which I'll get back to a little bit later. This is a post-war celebration series reproduction of the number 50 Great Northern Snowplow, numbered 6-16446. This is my complete set of the Conventional Classics Pullman car set with the additional observation car, which came for separate sale. And we got some more rolling stock over here. We got the Mo and Joe operating lumber car in this box. These are also a mixture of MPC and standard O items. How you doing? All right. See you around, Ed. Hope to catch up with you next week. Set the 1957 Santa Fe A and B and A set up there. I believe this is actually the 1955 set. Just turn the camera around. Although I could be wrong, maybe it is from 1957, but the cars that came with this locomotive initially came with the green New York Central gondola, as you see here. I also still have the Lehigh Valley, where is it? Right up there, the Lehigh Valley hopper that also goes with the set, along with the SP caboose. And I unfortunately do not have the Tuscan Brown, what was it? The Tuscan Brown Baltimore and Ohio double door boxcar that goes with the set. I mean, who knows what happened to that car originally. I mean, I still have 95% of the set, but that's the only car that I'm still missing. So hopefully I'll get to track it down eventually one day. Like MTH and the older Lionel items from the 1980s and 2000s, I am not buying any of the new Lionel stuff at all because Lionel is out of control with their prices. I'm not really necessarily blaming Lionel for their high price range. I mean, there's a reason why their locomotives and rolling stock have to be so pricey, but there's another particular reason when it comes to that. But I'm not going to get into any discussion when it comes to that situation here on my channel, because we don't do that. We mostly just like to have a lot of fun and talk about the positive side of the hobby. I mean, would I like for Lionel to eventually cut down on some of the prices? Yeah, but I wouldn't be expecting anything in that regards anytime soon. And again, I don't want to get into the other reason because I don't want to have any people firing away, mean, nasty comments in the comments section. So We just want to keep it clean here as far as I'm concerned. Remember, guys, this is a PG-13 or PG type of YouTube channel here, so everything has to be family friendly. All right, down here we got some more MTH items. We got a Union Pacific auto loader on top here. This box down here is for my Milwaukee Road passenger car set. These two Lionel boxes are for the Texas Special passenger cars. Up here I got a flat car or a flatbed with a Lionel themed tank car on it. Now the tank car does come in a separate box, which I do have on the top of the collection here. And then right over here we got some more MTH and Lionel boxes. Here we have the barrel car, which is missing a couple of barrels, which are hidden or scattered about on the layout. So it's definitely the perfect time for an Easter egg hunt. We got some more MTH Rail King boxes. We got some more MTH and Lionel boxes here. Here's the 2338s on top of this box here, which is for a whatchamacallit, coil car. Now this is the 2338 that is the most common with the black cab. Again, the version with the orange cab as well as the orange painted, not steps, but the side of the steps are extremely rare and very pricey. Here's the Commodore Vanderbilt again. I know you guys have seen this multiple times here on the channel. Now, the only thing that I do need to try to hunt down and look for is the grill that goes on the top here. Because even though the front of it is very striking to look at, the top part is just kind of, I don't want to say bland, but very ugly to look at without the grill on top. Down here, this was actually my first MTH starter set that my dad got probably before I was born. I'm not really too sure. But this is the Amtrak Genesis passenger set with the QSI sound system. Here on the packaging, we have the locomotive as well as the 3 cars and the special dome car in the back here. So a very nice line of double deckers to go with this iconic set. Finally, moving down to the last couple of items that I have here in the collection. This is my North Pole Central Lines Christmas train set that my grandma got for me many years ago when I was very young. So I still have that. I still have this particular set. And I always like to look at it every day because, you know, just like I'm probably speaking for a lot of people out there, but just like our grandparents are very important to us, my grandparents and especially my grandma were very important to me too. So I always think of her every day, every time I take a look at the set. This one down here was also from a garage sale that my dad went to. This is the QSI Pennsylvania Steam Turbine set, also known as the Pennsylvania Express Freight Train. Comes with the locomotive, the tender, boxcar, a tank car, and a matching Pennsy caboose. Now I might need to find another shell for this engine because the front of the pilot is cracked. And I don't want to be running this engine if it has a cracked boiler front or a pilot. These two boxes, this box down here is for my dad's Pennsylvania MPC Lionel F3 set. And I showed you guys the B unit earlier before, but here are the locomotives. This one's numbered 8953, while the other one is numbered 8952, and this one is the powered. This is the A unit, while the other one is the dummy unit. And this engine, this set here, the A unit does come with the double motor, which I absolutely love when it comes to not only the MPC engines, but the earlier post-war engines too. All right, let's go ahead and take a break so I can catch up on the comments here. I do have MPC cars that need parts for the flat cars, like the wheel, whatchamacallit, wheel trucks, and fifth wheel standard for the trailers. What's going on, man? How you doing, C. Kelly? All right, and finally, before we go ahead and get on with the running session here, this is all just a whole pile and kaboobla of MPC, Lionel, MTH, post-war, and some other type of engines here. Here I have the original milk car from the late 40s, early 50s. This was the one that I restored on my other channel, again, Railchief's Back Shop. If you guys want to go ahead and check out that video, I'll make sure to leave a link, as always, down below to my other channel. Here we have this 3484 Pennsylvania operating boxcar. Got a caboose here. Got a couple of crane cars from both MTH and Lionel. Everything else is mostly just Lionel post-war and MPC. I also do have a couple of engines that are buried down below. One of them is for the New York Central, which is the A unit. Unfortunately, I can't bring that out now because I don't want to actually bury it. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Here's my Silver Dome passenger car line. We got some more cars down below. We have the brakeman car, we have the maintenance car, and then we also have the flat car with the airplane on it. Now, earlier on, I mentioned that I don't have the double door box car in the Tuscan color, but I do have this one in the blue paint scheme of the Baltimore and Ohio. This bag over here contains a Baltimore and Ohio passenger car from MTH in the B&O paint scheme once again. This is the 1877 horse car. This is the newer reproduction of the original. We got a fire car down there. We got another B&O passenger car. We have the boat car down there. We got the United States mail car down below here. This is a 1960s Lionel Lines caboose. Now, like I said, I can't dig everything out to show you some of the engines that I have, but I can tell you that I have my 8644 MPC Santa Fe steamer down below, along with the K-Line Dreyfus Hudson with the TMCC. And then finally, I have the, whatchamacallit, the New York Central that I just mentioned earlier, the 2344 down below as well. and put everything back here. Good boy. He's a good boy. All right, that about takes care of that. Now, before we go ahead and get on with the running session, the last few items that I want to share with you all are my Canadian Pacific Streamlined passenger car set that was completely restored from 2020. What was it? 2023 to, I believe, 2024. So everything is fully restored, fully cleaned. And just look how beautifully these things shine in the spotlight. There's the observation car. We also have a dome car. This was also restored. And we have the Blair Manor passenger car. The only other pieces that are missing is the extra dome car and the F units. So hopefully, cross my fingers and hope to die that I'll be able to find a set of F3s to go with these passenger cars, as well as the extra dome car, like I mentioned. And then finally down here, we have the post-war celebration series reproduction of the New York Central 773 Hudson from 2005. Now this is also the reproduction of the Super Row set from 1964. But what's very ironic about this set is that they went with the 1950s aesthetic just by looking at the entire locomotive and tender. They even used the original numbering for the 773 that was used on the 1950s model. And then with the tender, even though it says Lionel lines on it, this one's more of a scale tender. So I never really bothered, running the whole set together. I mean, I did originally a couple of times, but after a while I was thinking to myself, it's a nice set, but the cars are a little bit too small for the locomotive. And here we have all the cars that go with the set. We got the poultry dispatch car, we got the log car, we got the milk car, which is my favorite part of this entire set. We got the Sunoco 3-dome tank car, the horse car once again. Now I do have both of the reproduction horse cars. I know that somebody was asking me about that earlier before, but I do not have an original horse car, only the reproductions, but the reproduction horse car runs just as nice. We also have the Lehigh Valley Hopper that goes with the set. And finally, we have the Pensy Caboose, which unfortunately, I'm going to have to order a new one because the one that I have now has a little cracked piece on the shell right on top where the roof is near the balcony. So if anybody knows where I can find one, please make sure to let me know. So that's about it when it comes to the entire collection. And again, if you guys want to see anything in particular to watch, if there's any type of locomotive that I showed you in this video tonight that you would like to see run in not only tonight's live stream, but some of my other future live streams as well, you can always look back on this video as a reference and make sure to let me know in the comments section as always. So now, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with the running session here. And it's going to tonight's running session is a mixture of both MTH and Lionel, mostly MTH locomotives, including the 4141 George W. Bush and the SD GP38 in the BNSF paint scheme. And then I brought back the NW2 switcher from last week, as well as the red 52 fire car. So I hope you all have enjoyed watching tonight's live stream. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell down below. And to round it off, we're going to end the live stream tonight by running a couple of trains around the layout. So I hope you all will enjoy the rest of the video tonight. And I hope to catch you all next week for another fantastic live stream on Tuesday around 8:30 p.m. Same train time, same train channel. Anyway, let's go ahead and apply power to the layout. And I hope to catch you all next time. And when I mean next time, I hope to see you all next week. No, there wasn't really a dummy unit to go with those Santa Fe 027 sets. If you're thinking about either the blue and yellow or the war bonnet paint scheme for the Alcos, then yes, they would come with dummy units. But the 2243 never came with the dummy unit, just the B unit. Have a good night. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and shut everything down. Let's go ahead and give one final look at the V&O here. All right, guys. So as always, this is Real Chief and Ozzy here signing off for tonight. So I really hope that you all have enjoyed taking a look at the entire collection as well as watching the layout in operation as always. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to share this video with your friends so that way we can get more followers and more people watching every Tuesday night. So once again, thank you all for tuning in for this Tuesday's live stream, and I hope to see you all next week around the same time at 8:30 p.m. on Railchief74. Take care, guys.